Before I do give up this gavel, there are a few things that I would like to say. First and foremost, I want to recognize that I'm here before you, standing on the shoulders of my ancestors, my grandparents, and my parents who are here with me, and that I would not be here without my community, and for that I am humbled. Gracias. Over the past year, I've had the privilege of serving this board as chair. While it has been a learning experience every day, serving on this board and serving the community I love has been the honor of my short life thus far. You know, 4 years ago, we ran and won in overwhelming fashion, beating a longtime incumbent who the community saw as ineffective. I thank my constituents for electing me then and on my reelection now, because despite lies, slander, and negativity, once again, we won in overwhelming fashion. And I thank them for entrusting me to serve them another 4 years. My district elected us because they were tired of the status quo. They were tired of the same old business as usual at College of the Desert, and we sought out to change that. And what better way than to hire a leader from outside of the cesspool that was previously here? The majority of the previous board took a bold stance and hired a PhD, someone who is a reflection and a product of the California community college system, a woman of color and single mother who can communicate effectively with all constituency groups in the region in both English and Spanish. Someone who is respected as a leader not only in California but nationwide. Someone who is humble and did not spend all day in the ivory tower, her door always open and engaging with students, always genuine, with no crocodile tears coming along with it, just truly empathetic of the students she serves. Dr. Garcia, I thank you and your executive cabinet because you have all done an amazing job given the circumstances. I wish the loud minority within the community would have given you an opportunity to show what you're truly capable of. What a shame. What a shame Dr. Garcia has been race-lighted since she got here. Race-lighting, a concept coming from the play Gaslight, developed by Dr. J. Luke Wood and Dr. Frank Williams III of San Diego State University, wherein specifically here, individuals, and in our case, and I'm pointing directly at the local newspaper, coupled with a very loud minority in the community, who did not look like Dr. Garcia, criticized and questioned Dr. Garcia's ability to lead an institution despite having all the qualifications and track record of effectiveness and success. My colleague on the board from Trustee Area 5, I know this concept is not foreign to you as you were in the same session where it was presented to us. It resonated with me. Did it with you? Colleagues on the board and colleagues around campus, I welcome and almost implore a moment of self-reflection when you get home today because you preach diversity, equity, and inclusion. We all do. It's written on all of our materials and information, but when it comes down to putting pen to paper or allocating resources or instituting practices that would lead to diversity, equity, and inclusion, your implicit bias comes out and you all fold when needed or turn a blind eye every single time. Dr. Tafoya, thank you so much. Thank you so much because you came in, hit the ground running, and immediately began streamlining projects to completion. It is a shame that folks did not like your get-it-done attitude because you, Dr. Tafoya, have been extremely effective since your arrival. And I am grateful for your service to College of the Desert. Or how about we just call it what it is? Because when you have strong women in power, especially women of color, the status quo feels threatened. And I know the status quo is relishing today. It's a celebratory day. But believe me, the status quo feels some type of way about this speech. Dr. Garcia, Dr. Tafoya, Executive Cabinet, you all came into a hostile environment, and I was only expecting to get more hostile. I wish there was more I could do, and I apologize to you all. I'll end with this here. I know my role as a trustee is in a predominantly underserved working class community of color who has traditionally not gotten their fair share of, is to ensure that they do. You all know my story already. I would not be sitting in this chair without an education, and like many others in my community, my grandparents came to this country with nothing. My grandparents, just like many others in my community, were farm workers who looked up to Cesar Chavez and taught my dad and mom to be activists and public servants, which was in turn passed down to me. And folks, that is the reason why we serve. A good public servant serves because they love their community. They do not serve from a place of hate or malice. They serve from a place of love. They do not serve for greed, power, or self-interest. They serve because they could not see themselves doing anything else. Mwai Kibaki, former president of Kenya, once said that leadership is a privilege to better the lives of others. It is not an opportunity to satisfy personal greed. Members of the community, I hope you understand the gravity of the situation because over the next few months, you're going to see personal greed be satisfied and personal greed and ego be satisfied. And starting today, one can make the argument it started over a year ago in a now infamous video, but officially it begins today. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official College of the Desert Puppet Show. Take a look at the decisions that will be made today and who they are truly affecting. Because in this puppet show, unfortunately, the ones that suffer the most are going to be the students. Students, don't worry. I got you. I got your back. I will be fighting for you. Seguimos la lucha. Oh, and one last thing, Madam Vice Chair. It was brought to my attention this week that yourself and the trustee representing Area 4 are attempting to break Policy 2210 and jump me in the chairmanship order. Wow, how quickly the rules are being broken. I will not stand by it. We are not going to break policy and start setting bad precedents as was common practice before. We are not going to pick and choose which board policies we break and which we follow. Trustee Kinnaman, with all due respect, I do not care how much money you use to buy your election. Chairmanship is something you cannot buy. You will not be chair before me. Respectfully, I ask you get in the back of the line like every trustee before you. Thank you, and congratulations on your new chairmanship, Madam Chair. It's still my meeting. Still my meeting. Here's your gavel, Madam Chair.
Thank you.